Hey guys, welcome. I'm your friend Sanjay once again in the training. In this training, we're gonna discuss about the next error, which is connection error, right? In last few couple of videos, we have discussed about the endpoint firewall and AV error, and I hope you have watched these training and these trainings, are helpful, right? You able to resolve the endpoint firewall and AV error. Now, in this case, or in this video, we're going to discuss about the connection error, that why this error comes and how to fix this problem, what step you can take, right, in order to fix this problem, or at least to isolate the problem that where why this is happening and from where where it's coming. So when you get an error in the Zscaler client connector, right, and the service status shows you some kind of a error, the first step you should be doing is basically just searching for it, that what exactly this means. So what you do a Google search, right? Search in Google, which is ZCC plus error. Once you search that, you would get two top link, which is from the Zscaler, of course, and in that you open the second one, which is Zscaler client connector connection status error. Okay, now when you open this connection status error help article, right, there you would see a couple of error, right, mentioned. So one of this error we have already discussed. Now in this case we're getting this connection error now, right? So this is the error message, right? Now what is the explanation of this error? Let's just check that part. Okay, so it says that ZIA public services cannot be reached. What it means is that from this ZCC client connector, or from this system where you have installed this ZCC client connector, the ZCC client connector is not able to reach out to the ZIA public service edge, the Zscaler data center, right? What it has asked you to do, right? What are the required action you need to do, perform? For example, what do you do? Maybe you just retry, right, and check if it fixes the problem, try to restart the services and check. So usually, if it fixes the problem, it may be a temporary something causing this problem. If this error remains there, then the Zscaler asking you to contact the Zscaler support. Okay, but how do you troubleshoot, if after clicking on a restart or a retry or restarting a service doesn't fix the problem? The first thing from this help article, you understood that ZIA public service is not reachable. That means there is IP connectivity block happening, right? There is a connection to the Zscaler data center is blocked. You can logged in, right? You are already logged into the application. Now, the question, you may have a question that how you logged into the application if if connection to Zscaler is blocked. So you need to understand that there are a couple of processes there are a couple of things, right? One is that you're trying to log into a ZCC application that uses all together are different IP ranges, right? So what happens when you log in, so it connects to the Zscaler SMCA, right, the central authority, and then it connects to the Zscaler pack server to download the pack, right? It redirect your ZCC application to IDP if that's configured. Okay, and if these IP or these connections are not blocked, you're gonna see that you could log in successfully, there is no problem. But once that pack download happens, and then the pack down gave you some kind of primary and secondary DC IP addresses, right, to connect, and then your ZCC would try to connect to these IP addresses to to enable that ZIA internet security. And if these IPs are getting blocked somehow, somewhere, maybe in your local system, or maybe your edge firewall, or maybe by the ISP in between, I mean anywhere, right? That's where you would see that ZCC would throw you the connection error. Okay, now what you do in that case, what you need to check, basically, you go to the more option, you start the packet capture, and you restart the services, so just to reproduce the problem, right? Once you reproduce the problem, you check the logs that what's happening. So that's what I did. So to save some time, I already exported these logs. So this is what I have, this is what I exported. You can see if I open this log file, right, And I what I'm interested is basically the capture file, the capture adapter, right? The physical interface, a capture adapter, and the ZSA tunnel log. So before going to the capture adapter, I would like to see the the ZSA tunnel logs. So by looking at the ZSA tunnel logs, which is basically for the traffic processing, right? I could see the process happening normally, right? The initial processing that ZSA tunnel came up when you enable the ZCC. When you try to log in, there's a firewall rule check happened, right? It added few firewall rules to allow the ZSA tunnel process, right? And it does that captive check and everything happened perfectly fine, right? Even it has downloaded the the forwarding profile as well. You can see that part here as well, and the certificate check happens. You can see the file forwarding profile download happened. You have a trusted, non-trusted or trusted profile settings there already enabled, right? You see the bypasses happening, right? So basically ZCC logged in, ZCC downloaded the forwarding app profile, and it also downloaded the pack file based on that. Now what you would see down in these logs, that let me just write go to the down. So what happens is basically uh, okay, so right. Let me go down. So by this there was a block already, right? So let me just filter based on this, right? So okay, here it was trying it is it was trying to connect. So when it was trying to connect, what you could see that the Zscaler app status is trying to connect. Okay, where is that? Let me just search for dot pack. Okay, now what Zscaler tried to do the application, it it has that default pack, right? And it tries to download that pack file, and let me just see what are the find proxy, right? This is the statement how that starts, and you can even see that the pack file download happened for the tunnel 2.0, right? In this pack file what you see basically, right, the default statement is this, which is 165 225 124 and 16, that's a Delhi DC, and there is a 165 225 120. I think that's Mumbai or Chennai, right? Now this is where the ZCC would connect, right, in order to bring your ZIA tunnel status to up, right? Now, what I would do, let me just try to ping this IP to see if I have a connections, right, to connect to this particular IP address, right? Now you can see that's failing, right? You can capture that thing as well. Now I don't have that IP traffic in my ZCC capture because what I did in order to generate or reproduce this error, basically I created a firewall rule, which is in the outbound directions, I gave it a name block zscaler IP address. And what I did is basically I blocked the 165.225.0/0/16. So I blocked the zscaler, my primary and secondary DC IP addresses. When I blocked it, what I could see that ZCC allowed me to log in, but then it throws that connection error because my system firewall blocking connection to to the Zscaler data center. How can you check which DCIP this is from? You go to config.zscaler page, and then there you basically search for 165, 225, 124, and you would see that the range of New Delhi data center, right? So this is how you can figure it out. If it's not your local firewall, you would see traffic in the captures, and most probably you would get some kind of a return packet, right? Reset happening from how from which IP, right? From I mean from where exactly, how far that's going. There you could see the reset there as well. So basically, how do you troubleshoot this problem? When you see the connection error, first you check the ZIA Zscaler help article, right? You understand what is the error message you're getting, what is the recommended, what is this error means, and what are the steps Zscaler advising you to do. Okay, once you know that, right, you perform these action. If it's still not fixing, and we know that this is a problem of a connection problem to connecting to the Zscaler service edge, we check our firewall configurations, block happening to due to any firewall rule. If we don't see, right, maybe just changing a different ISP, right? If you are in office, just try connecting to hotspot. See, bypassing your office firewall if that allow you to connect, right? If you are, in your home Wi-Fi and you have a few routers, right, which may have some kind of a configuration, try connecting to hotspot where we may not have any kind of a blockage, right, firewall kind of restrictions. That's how you can troubleshoot this problem. Check the ZSA tunnel logs to see what's happening to the IP addresses, what IP you should connect, right? The pack file download, and then try to connect to these IP addresses to see if you have a connectivity to these IPs, right? Right, that which IP you need to connect. If you have to check, right? One other thing is that you can check is the Zscaler proxy health management, right? Zscaler proxy health management logs, right? So in the ZSA tunnel logs, what you do, you filter for Zscaler proxy health management log, right? What is this basically? This is the process which would try to connect to the Zscaler data center, right? And you can see there's a bind happened because that's the IP downloaded through the pack. And that bind happened that this should, that this traffic should go through your default interface, right? And then Zscaler ZCC is trying to connect to this IP address, and we could see it's trying, but this is not successful, right? We get the input output error permission denied because this is a firewall block we have in this local system, which I have shown you before, right? For these IP address. In cases normally when you don't, right, yeah, I mean if you have a firewall block, a rule blocking these IP ranges, you get this input output error and permission denies kind of a logs, right? But in case where you don't have a firewall rule blocking this connection on a local system itself in this PC, then traffic would go out from this PC, right? And then it would try to reach out to the destination. There you would say it's trying to connect. You may see, the TCP SYN going out, and may have no response coming back, right? So that's how you can troubleshoot this problem as well, right? You can just simply check for Zscaler proxy health management log. And if you're not sure what is the ZPHM and other keywords, check out my previous videos and you'll get more idea about these keywords, which you can, check in the Zscaler, Zscaler logs to figure out what it means, right? Let's just do one thing, and let's say you figured out that there is a block happening in the firewall, and you made change to that rule, you allowed that traffic, and the way what I'm doing is basically I'm just disabling this rule. So let me disable this rule. Let's retry, and now it's trying to connect. Okay, let's wait for a while. Okay, and now we can see this is connected. So that proved that if you have a block happening for the IP address, your Zscaler internet security won't come up, right? So yes, that's the problem, and that's how you can fix it. And you can isolate the problem and try to take actions. I hope this is helpful. Check out the other videos if you have any questions. If you have I mean any questions you have, or you want to get expertise on the other topics which I have already covered, feel free to comment if you want me to cover a specific topic, and I'll be for sure making videos on that as well. Thank you very much, and bye.